Did y'all not know what y'all was signing up for? Because why is everyone stressing about family and friends day like this wasn't part of the experiment? Here we have Vanessa, who was just begging Logan for attention, and now he's the problem. Then we have Chris, who looks like he's one conversation away from packing his bags and going home. Y'all, this episode was a mess. Let's talk about it.
Kay Unscripted, no teeth restricted. In this journey, watch our stories unfold.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. This is Kay Unscripted. I am your girl Kay, and today we're breaking down Age of Attraction, Season 1, Episode 6. And in this episode, things got real fast, okay? Because it's Family and Friends Day. But before we break down all the tea in this episode, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this recap with a friend who watches the show. Now let's get into it, okay? So like I said, it's Family and Friends Day, and everyone is nervous trying to figure out who is coming to visit them. So we see Theresa and John. They're discussing who they think is coming to meet them. John thinks it's his mom and his sister, and he wants to meet his family first because he feels like this will help him to get ready to meet Theresa's children. Theresa is also nervous, but she tells him, remember, we're not going to be saying ages. And I'm like, girl, why? Why are you telling him to keep your age away from his family? Now, I don't know why she's bugging about the whole age thing. I don't get it, because you do know you signed up for a show to be with someone younger than you. And you also knew it was a possibility that they would be the same age with your children, because you're not a young tenderoni. I mean, you're way older than him. So please stop, okay? Just stop. Now, Phifer is also having a hard time with Family and Friends Day. She's crying. Apparently, it just hit her how serious things are getting. And she's not really ready to introduce a partner to her family. And that's what is working my nerves, because y'all knew this, okay? So all the tears and the nerves is alarming to me, because if you really genuinely like this person and you see a future with them, what's the issue with introducing them to your family? Isn't that what people do? Now we move on to Logan and Vanessa. Vanessa is saying that the more time she spends with Logan, the more she sees potential red flags. And I'm surprised, because she wanted the D, and I thought when she got the D, she said she's now seeing the side of him that she needed. So what is the problem? Now, it's funny to me how she's seeing all the red flags in him, but is it just me, or do we also see some red flags in Vanessa? Because first of all, she was fast. Remember how she moved so fast with Chris, right? The entire time we've watched her relationship with Logan, she's been rude. She's very insecure. She's desperate. She's condescending in the way that she speaks to him. And the more she describes her sisters being happy and having these happy relationships, it's low-key giving that she envies the life that her sisters have and she wants it so much. But Vanessa, I feel like maybe you should go work on yourself before you try to be in a committed relationship, or rather tell us why you really came to this experiment. You came to this experiment because you wanted to be with a younger guy. You wanted to see how that felt. You wanted to get young D, okay? And you know it's not working the way you thought it would, because for one, Logan is not putting up with your shit, okay? So let's just be honest about why you came to the experiment. So it's meetup day for John, who's introducing Theresa to his mom, Brenda, and his sister, Sarah. So his sister's like, well, what's the tea? So John explains the process to them. Theresa says that the connection was based solely of chemistry, compatibility, that sort of thing, and not necessarily focusing on the age. So she then reveals that her family doesn't even know anything about this experiment. They know she went to do something, but they have no idea what it is. And I said, yikes. You do know they were going to find out, right? Because this is being filmed. So she goes to the bathroom, and here comes all of the questions about her age, because she just skipped over the age thing like that wasn't important. So they're asking him a bunch of questions. If she's been married before, if she has kids, all the questions. He is telling his family, oh, don't worry about the age, don't worry about anything. We're good, we're happy. She's been married before, and chances are he's going to meet her kids. So his sister's asking him, well, how many kids does she have? What are the ages? And he's like, oh, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. So why the hell am I here? If you're not going to give me any information, why the hell am I here? This is what the sister should have asked him. Because if it was me, I would be like, yeah, I'm out. I'm done. Because what am I doing here? So in his sister and mother's confessional, his sister said, I can tell that she's definitely older than him, but it's off-putting to them that she doesn't want to talk about the age and the ages of her children. They feel like this is really weird to them, especially because she has children. That would definitely be something that she should be talking about, and it's weird to them that she doesn't want to. Now Phifer is shaking in her boots as she's waiting for her people to come meet her, right? She's sitting next to Derrick. She's so nervous that he's telling her, come closer, and she's like, no, I don't want to sit close to you. And I said, what the hell? Like, what is going on? So her parents walk in and she feels a little bit more relieved. Actually, she said the last time she saw her parents together was when she got in trouble in high school. So her mom asked Derrick why he chose this form of dating. He's explaining that the other way just wasn't working for him anymore. He also said that he did some work on himself and thought to try something different. So Phifer lets her parents know that she's more flexible because she's younger than Derrick. And when he tells them his age, they're like, damn, you look good for 43. Baby, that's that black, okay? Black don't crack. You hear me? In case you didn't know, now you know, okay? So she also shares that he has kids, and because she's always wanted a big family, he already has that maturity to raise kids. And I don't really get her logic behind that, because there are plenty adults raising kids and doing a terrible job at it, even at 43 years or older. So I don't understand her reasoning. It doesn't really make sense to me, but I guess. Now he goes to the side to talk to her dad, but she's with her mom, and her mom says, you were very bad at babysitting. So 2 kids at 23? Her mom clocked it, right? How is that going to work? She said, well, I mean, I haven't really told him that I was bad at babysitting. And furthermore, she didn't like babysitting at all. And I'm like, girl, who do you think you're trying to fool? Because we can see how unprepared you are for that kind of life. What do y'all be discussing? That's the real question, because he should have known that piece of information the moment he told you that he has young kids, okay? Now, meanwhile, her dad is telling Derrick how he's never seen her so comfortable with anyone. And the man is literally tearing up in his confessional, talking about how much he trusts Phifer and he trusts her decisions. And I said, excuse me, so are you okay? Because I don't know, I would have been expecting him to be grilling Derrick, but what is happening? Let's move on, okay? So Libby is introducing Andrew to her 2 friends, Nina and Lauren. And immediately you could tell that these are kids. The way they were hugging each other, and, oh my god, your makeup is cute. Oh my god, no, your makeup is cute. I'm like, what is happening? What is this? Andrew, I'm so uncomfortable for you. And you should be feeling uncomfortable too. Because what is happening? So they grill him about their relationship, right? They want to know what his relationship is with the mother of his kids. He lets them know that he has a great relationship with her. They do birthdays, holidays, the whole shebang. And her friend was like, well, I'd like to hear that from her, because y'all men be lying, okay? And she didn't lie. She didn't lie. She was on point. Now, once he tells them his age, Libby's like, well, we're great roommates. We're having a good time. In other words, she's here for a good time, not a long time, okay? She's just enjoying her life. That girl ain't committing to Andrew and his kids, okay? So while her friends telling her, girl, this is supposed to be a relationship, not a roommate situation, right? His two friends, Rob and Amir, pull up on them, okay? So he's filling his guys in on the experiment. They go to the side, they're talking. Now, her friends, they just couldn't wait for Andrew to get up and leave, okay? Because as soon as he got up, her friend Nina said, he might need some Botox. And I said, and I, oop, what? Meanwhile, his friends had a whole bet that he would be with a younger woman. I am not surprised because remember he said his group chat would be telling him they thought he was going to be doing something different. Y'all, they said, oh, 22, blonde, he's consistent. But then they said to him, let me guess, she's very mature. They were cracking so many jokes at him. They made him look so dumb. But he said, oh, sometimes. And I said, what do you mean sometimes? I thought you said she was very mature. So how do you mean sometimes? Okay. Then hear this, y'all. He's talking about them having a long distance relationship. And by the time he started talking, you could see on his friend's face that he's just talking crap. He's not committing to no long distance relationship. Then he said his daughters don't really need a stepmom. He's thinking more so of a big sister vibes. His daughters don't need a stepmom. He's thinking of big sister vibes. I had to repeat that because did he just say that? Is Andrew okay? And you could tell that they did discuss that because Libby says the same things to her friends. And her friends were like, what? What do you mean? This is not a big sister vibe happening. These are his kids. You're screwing their dad. And I don't know. I just feel like the whole big sister thing is just so weird to me. I don't know, y'all. Tell me what y'all think. Do y'all think that sounded a bit off? Now let's talk about Leah. She's meeting Chris's mom. They talk about how hard it's been finding some sort of a normal routine. And when she tells his mom that she is 41, his mom was shocked because she thinks that she is very much younger, like in her 30s. Now Leah says that she is fine with the age gap as long as he's there for her. And she's all googly eyed and he looks a bit more serious, okay? Now she decides to head back to the apartment to give Chris some alone time with his mom. You could tell he really needed to have that one-on-one time with his mom too. So he's asking his mom for some advice on if some of the things that he's experiencing is normal. And that had me wondering if Chris has not had that much of a dating history, and because he just looks so checked out of that relationship, and the fact that he's asking his mom for advice tells me that he's inexperienced, especially with an older woman. Now we know also that Leah has been stressing that man out, okay? So he's telling his mom that everything was good up until they moved in together. Leah is not giving him any alone time. So his mom tells him that he's been on his own for a while, and so has she. So they're both trying to navigate how to live with someone, but he does need his time alone, which I completely agree. Chris wants to have kids right away too, but his mom makes him realize that he's not ready to bring children into the world because the relationship is not even solid to begin with, and that they need to talk about those different kind of things. Now, I think that is really important because I've been wondering, what do you all be talking about? Seriously. Now, Chris is definitely struggling. He keeps saying that this is so hard for him. So his mom gives him some words of advice, which I think is very important. His mom tells him, if you're not happy every day and enjoying every moment with her, then you're hurting Leah, okay? Christopher, go home with your mom. We understand. Take your bags and go home, okay? All right. Now, Vanessa's meeting Logan's parents. His dad's asking how he's enjoying the experience, and he's saying that it's been good. They're trying to learn the ins and outs of this relationship. His mom then asks about their living situation. Vanessa says that they're trying to figure it out and to get clarity on where this relationship is going. Do I see this relationship going anywhere? Absolutely not. So once the topic of age comes up, she said she's a little older, and I'm like, girl, stop. You're not a little older. You're a lot older than Logan. But she says her age, and the parents are like, oh, wow, okay. Meanwhile, Logan is sitting there and he's looking extremely nervous. He's gulping down his drink. What is up, Logan? His mom says that she wants grandkids because all of her friends are having grandkids already. But Logan is saying that he doesn't want to have kids. And I wonder if he's saying that because he's trying to make Vanessa happy. Because his parents said, no, you said you wanted 4 kids. So how did you change your mind? And we've seen that happen so many times on these shows. Either the guy or the girl is deciding to compromise what they want to make that person happy, and that's just not going to work. Now, Libby and Andrew return to the apartment. She says that their friends mesh really well with each other, and her friends don't hate him, because that would be a strong word to say hate. But I definitely think her friends hated him. They did not like him. They couldn't wait for him to get out of their face. So I don't know why she's lying to Andrew. They're not messing with him at all. They don't want to be around him. They don't want to breathe the same air as him. They just feel like he's a little too old. So, girls, stop lying, okay? She says that after all the questions her friends asked, it had her feeling a little bit nuts. He said his friends are happy for him, and he's a little bit in his feelings because his friends being there for him shows that they're supporting his happily ever after. And I said, which happily ever after? Did we watch the same conversation happen? Because I know he was physically there, but what about the conversation they showed us? Because it didn't show that they were happy for him at all. They showed that they were so unserious about this relationship. They didn't think it was going anywhere. So I don't know what he's I don't know what he is saying. I don't know why he's lying to Libby, but that's definitely not what we saw, okay? Now Chris gets back home from meeting with his mom, and he gets in the bed. He's filling Leah in on his chat with his mother, and how after talking to her he feels so unsure about his life as to taking the next steps. Leah saying that she's annoyed that they cannot just live in the moment. Things were good up until he went to see his mom, and now he's thinking about the future. She's saying that he's just thinking of things he doesn't need to be thinking about at this point, but he's saying for him, he's just unsure about the next step, right? He's processing everything at one time, right? He says that he's trying to be open about what he's feeling, but every time he tries to communicate, Leah gets offended. Now, once he starts trying to express himself, she gets emotional, saying that she cares about him and just misses how things were in the beginning for them. But he said that he is struggling, he's exhausted, he's overwhelmed because he cannot be himself, and she's not hearing the emotion that comes along with what he's trying to say. Now, Leah, we know you were just having fun in the beginning, but now things are getting serious, and this man is really trying to figure out what to do, okay? He's getting emotional too, doubting himself, doubting if he's ready or if he's mature enough to be in a relationship, and all of that type of stuff. And I personally just feel like Leah placed too much pressure on that man, wanting him to uproot his life to be next to her, him having to do all of those different things to please her. It may have scared him. It may have put him in a place where he's wondering if this is even worth it, especially because they've been bumping heads so much. I just feel like Christopher needs to go home and go be with his family. To end the episode off, John is linking up with his sister. He wants to know what their mom thought about the meeting with Theresa. She said that both she and her mom were concerned because Theresa didn't volunteer to share the information about her kids, at least what her kids' ages are, and that for them is a big deal. She said, but why the hesitancy in sharing? Why doesn't she want us to know her kids' age? And the sister even thought that it was two kids, but John quickly corrected her and said, no, in fact, it's three children. And she's like, see, I didn't even know it was three. I thought it was two. So he finally reveals Theresa's age and lets his sister know that her children are closer to his age. His sister tells him that he is so young, he still has a lot of life to experience, so please consider what his life would be like with her because of the age gap. And he said in his confessional that now that he's hearing it from his sister, who he knows has his best interest at heart, it's now having him to ask himself a ton of questions as to whether or not he's making the right decision when it comes to his relationship with Theresa. And now this is where the episode ends, y'all. And that's it for the recap for this episode. But I need to hear from y'all because I don't know, y'all, the families definitely had some opinions. Please let me know in the comments which couple you think is actually going to make it and which one is already falling apart. Who is your favorite couple so far? I'd like to hear from you. And if you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who watches the show. And if you missed my previous recaps, go ahead and check those out right here. Thank you so much for watching Kay Unscripted, and I'll see you all in the next one.